Good morning. Glad to see everyone again. Today, we have a great lesson on weapons, especially because of all the weapon changes in Season 2.
What are we learning about today?
Even though you don't sound too excited, today we'll be comparing two great automatic energy weapons, the Havoc and the Devotion. Now let's dive into their stats and their similarities.
But one is a light machine gun and the other one an AR.
Yes, but in Apex that doesn't matter so much. They can both be used in the same way, with a little different strategy.
But when I try to shoot the Havoc, it just makes a funny noise and then I'm dead already.
Tot, that's because energy weapons all have a charge up time. You need to hold shoot for less than a half a second, and then the bullets will start coming out.
Oh.
But an amazing tip I have learned with the Havoc is that if you single tap, it shoots immediately. So if you shoot a couple single taps quick, and then you hold, there's no charge up time. Just like this.
Wow, now that's something I didn't know.
The Devotion's a little bit different. It starts shooting immediately, but at a slower RPM, which gets to its full RPM after about 1.5 seconds. When it starts shooting, it's one of the lowest DPS guns in the game, but at full rate, it's one of the highest.
But my enemy's guns shoot right away.
That's why with both of these guns you need to account for the charge up time. So while you're behind cover or on high ground, it's probably the best. You need to engage when you know the charge will be ready and you can hit your first bullet, so then you can follow up with the rest needed to get the knock.
How do I shoot them from behind cover?
No. You don't shoot them while they are behind cover. You start aiming and shoot while they come out of cover.
That's a lot of work. Just lie to your team and tell them you need a turbocharger. Then when someone finds it, take it, and then look for one of those stupid guns.
I mean, I guess that works too. But remind me to never invite you to be on my squad, please.
Aww.
What he's talking about, class, is the gold attachment both guns can take called the turbocharger. On the Havoc, it gets rid of that half-second charge-up time so it starts firing like a normal automatic. On the Devotion, it cuts the charge-up time to get to full speed in half.
So which one is better when I'm pushing a team?
Well, that would depend on what range you are pushing from, but mid to close quarter range, that would be the Devotion because it has a fast fire rate and having 12 more bullets in its clip than the Havoc does. The Devotion also has smaller crosshairs when hip firing, making it easy to land your shots up close.
Wow, I am learning so much.
Oh my god, noob.
Wedge, it says here you main Wraith and have an impressive 5,000 kills with her.
Haha, yep.
You missed this part. How many games do you have played?
Not that many.
I just looked up his Xbox name, and he's played 671 games and has 502 kills.
That's rough. Pretty rough.
It's hard to find a good squad. My teammates are always doing other shit when there's enemies around.
Hey, watch your language. This is still school. Sort of.
You never tell anyone what you are doing or where the enemies are. So first, you're dead, and then I die trying to save you.
Okay, guys. We'll get this all fixed. We have a few weeks of class. Let's get back on the Havoc versus the Devotion subject first. We talked about hip fire and close range fights, but how do these guns stack up at medium and long range?
They suck.
We've already solved who actually sucks. These weapons aren't terrible at range, but both guns have some serious recoil. The Devotion can take both a stock, which means ADSing is quicker, and a barrel stabilizer attachment, which reduces the weapon's recoil by a certain percent. A good way to use the Devotion is just shooting a couple of bullets at a similar rate to a burst rifle. The Havoc can take a tactical stock, so its recoil pattern is much more manageable. With the Season 2 update, both guns can take an extended energy mag in Common, Rare, and Legendary. From Rare up, the reload time for each gun is slightly decreased. But the base amount of ammo for each gun was dropped lower, so this isn't too much of a crazy change. Unless you find a blue or Legendary one, then you're set. The Havoc can also take the Select Fire Receiver attachment. What this does for the Havoc, it still has a charge up time, but it fires 4 energy rounds at once to send out a sniper-like shot. It also has some serious damage drop-off. I just wouldn't use this if I were you. Now, when you're ADSing with these guns, there's a specific recoil pattern every time that we can study.
What does ADSing mean?
It's aiming down sights. To master these guns, you need to learn their recoil pattern. That way you can compensate on your controller or your mouse to be able to keep the bullets as tight on target as you can. Now, what you're going to want to do is pull your right stick or your mouse in the opposite direction of the recoil pattern. That way it negates the jump and will not really have any recoil, if it's done right. Well, that's all the time we have for today, class. Remember to go into training and practice those recoil patterns. I'll upload today's class online in case you forgot anything, so make sure you like it and subscribe for bonus points. Oh, man. Well, if you're watching this at home, don't forget to come back next week for the third installment of Apex Legends Guns 101. I'm your favorite professor, Penguino. Also, you can check me out on stream. Links will be in the description below for all your favorite people over here at Mutant Media. See you next week, and don't forget to practice.